Alright, we're up. This is my Grand Blue versus Beta Impressions video. I will come out swinging, saying I had fun during the beta. I actually really enjoyed the game a lot more than I thought I would. At first, I was kind of reluctant to say that I liked it because I felt like it was kind of limited, and ultimately, that's something that I kind of had to come to terms with. It's a different game, and I'm a very classic BlazBlue player. I love the complexity, I love like high execution and stuff like that. But ultimately, the game I feel sates my needs for play quality because defense is strong, right? So what I wanted to talk about with my impression of the game was the kind of difference between games that require you to focus on implementation rather than establishment, right? And what that means, I will definitely make an entirely different video about that. But what that means is, kind of look at the kind of match that's going on right now, right? A lot of the neutral exchanges are one hit, one hit, one hit, one hit, and then like the way like spot dodge and roll is used is to challenge establishment, right? It's not about implementation of these things and getting a reward per se, because technically, yes, you're implementing this button, right? But it's about establishing your control of the space and then subverting it and using that, right? And that's where the majority of the focus is, rather than a game like BB Tag that's kind of more focused on, your application of like your offense and actually like earning those situations and stuff like that. So the game is very centric on working with your tools, and there are a lot of strong defensive tools in the game, which I really like. So I think with that in mind, I could see myself competing in this game for real. And I'm looking forward to it. I definitely had a lot of fun, especially playing with LK. Obviously, we're good friends, but like I feel like our matches kind of started to develop in a more objective sense rather than just like, player player. So a lot of that you can see, I guess, in our match. Kind of like the use of spot dodge and like how he's rolling in neutral against me, or at certain points of my pressure where he's disrespecting and stuff like that. And ultimately, there's a bunch of like little exchanges back and forth that are very fast. And I like that, even though the pace looks kind of slow. What you have to keep up with it and how many decisions you need to make, it's pretty fast. And the general speed, well, not the speed, the reward of those decisions is not always high, right? But it never feels like you're battling against high reward because, like, in a game like Guilty Gear, there's a lot of, like, space control from characters like Milia. Like, Far Slash, and she doesn't really get anything big without meter, but, like, other characters say they get a counter hit Far Slash, and you explode, right? And that kind of feels hard to deal with, but this game doesn't really have that for the most part. There's like one hit confirm it's a super, but that's what meter is for, of course. Everyone's got their EX moves for confirms, but there's no like normal chains for easy high damage confirms. So that they have to be looking for it. So overall, I like that the game places so much of an emphasis on the player's application of the tools rather than player's implementation of the tools, if that makes any sense. So I think the game is alright. I think it's a little early to say if it is a quality game or not. If you want to think about something like that in a more objective sense, I'll say that I think a good game has kind of an emphasis on establishment of options instead of simply just application of options. So I think this game has that, and I'm content with that. So I had a lot of fun. I like the characters. The game is beautiful, of course. Music is great. Music I'm playing right now is from Yasunori Nishiki, who also did the soundtrack for this game. It's from Octopath. But yeah, a lot of the game is about kind of like back and forth neutral exchange guesses and whiff punishes and good reactions, and like guessing about like exploitation of offense and stuff like that, except the callouts aren't super crazy, except when they are, of course. There are kind of established advantage situations, which are like a lot harder to disrespect. I like the balance of dynamics in this game overall, so I had a lot of fun. Defense is really good, tech window's pretty big. Historically, I never had such a big background in Street Fighter, but you could say that there is a reason why I never played Street Fighter so seriously. Because it's not that I was bad at Street Fighter when I was playing it. It was kind of just like, there's a reason why I picked BlazBlue over that game. But I think the aesthetic of this game honestly sells me on it a lot. I think it's really, really good looking. The music is amazing. But the general kind of flow of the game, it's fun. I guess that's the most important thing, but I feel like the only substantial thing I can offer you is kind of a more scrutinized insight as to why I like it. So, well, there you go. Defense is strong. Neutral exchanges are good. Low reward, but very, very dynamic. It's fun. It's fun. It actually really reminds me of Blade Strangers. So, anyway, definitely gonna make a separate video talking about the dynamics of application versus... What was it? What did I say? Oh, yes. I said establishment versus application, right? So I'll try to distinguish that a little better in that video. If you don't quite get it, I'm sure you can kind of just get the feeling of it. Beyond that, I took a lot of frame data for Granblue. I definitely want to do a little bit of a system breakdown and kind of like insights into how a lot of these things work in the game. Maybe, hopefully that might get people to understand why I feel the way I do, because I think there's a lot of information that people don't know about how certain things work that may or may not influence their impression on the game. So obviously, educating is helpful, whatever good, Anyway, I think that's good enough as far as my impressions go. I hope you got the idea. Looking forward to playing the game in the future for sure. So, yeah, I hope you look forward to watching me play it. Probably gonna play Fairy. She's probably gonna be top tier anyway. Anyway, see ya.